The psychology of decision fatigue, why you make worse choices by the end of the day. Have you ever wondered why it's so easy to say no to junk food in the morning, but by evening that cookie somehow ends up in your hand? Or why you spend hours agonizing over what to watch on Netflix only to give up and rewatch something old? You're not lazy. You're not weak. What you're likely experiencing is decision fatigue, a psychological phenomenon that silently sabotages your ability to make good decisions as the day progresses. Let's dive deep into the science behind this mental exhaustion, how it affects everything from your diet to your finances and relationships, and, most importantly, how to take control before your brain checks out for the day. What is decision fatigue? Decision fatigue refers to the deteriorating quality of decisions made by an individual after a long session of decision-making. Every choice you make, big or small, uses up a bit of mental energy. Over time, this depletes your willpower and cognitive sharpness, leading to impulsive decisions, avoidance, or poor judgment. Unlike physical fatigue, you might not feel tired when suffering from decision fatigue, but your brain's ability to make wise choices gets weaker. The science behind decision fatigue. This concept was popularized by psychologist Roy Baumeister, who showed that we all have a limited reserve of mental energy for decision-making. Once that reserve gets low, the brain starts looking for shortcuts, either by avoiding decisions, choosing the easiest option, or acting impulsively. One fascinating study involved judges making parole decisions. In the morning, favorable rulings were high, but by afternoon, after dozens of decisions, those same judges became far less likely to grant parole. What? Their brains were tired. If highly trained judges can fall prey to decision fatigue, so can all of us. Signs you're experiencing decision fatigue. You may not even realize it's happening, but here are common signs. You avoid making decisions altogether. You make impulsive choices just to get it over with. You feel mentally drained by the afternoon. You struggle to prioritize tasks. You procrastinate more as the day goes on. You experience more regret after decisions made later in the day. How it affects everyday life. 1. Diet and health. Ever notice that you're more likely to reach for unhealthy snacks at night? Your earlier self had the willpower to say no, but by the evening your mental fuel tank is empty. This is why many people break their diet rules at dinner or late-night snack time. 2. Work productivity. In the morning you might be focused and strategic. By the afternoon emails pile up unanswered, and you start saying yes to things you shouldn't just to clear your plate. This leads to decreased performance and poor prioritization. 3. Relationships and parenting. Decision fatigue makes you snappier, more irritable, and less empathetic. That's why arguments tend to happen later in the day when everyone's mental reserves are depleted. Parenting becomes more reactive, and communication with your partner can suffer. 4. Spending and finances. Retailers know you're tired by evening. That's why late-night sales, impulse buy banners, and one-time offers show up after work hours. People tend to make worse financial decisions when fatigued, including overspending and signing up for things they don't need. 5. Mental health. Consistently making poor decisions can lead to regret, guilt, and eventually decision paralysis, where even small choices feel overwhelming. Over time, this can impact self-esteem and lead to anxiety or burnout. Common triggers of decision fatigue. Making too many choices in a short period. Multitasking all day. Constantly switching tasks. Lack of routine or structure. Overloading your to-do list. Poor sleep and lack of nutrition. Even something as simple as deciding what to wear every morning can chip away at your mental stamina. How to outsmart decision fatigue. 1. Simplify routine choices. Eliminate small decisions by planning ahead. Lay out your clothes the night before. Meal prep your lunches. Automate what you can, because the fewer trivial decisions you make, the more power you save for the important ones. 2. Make big decisions early. Use your freshest mental energy for critical tasks. Schedule important meetings, financial decisions, or tough conversations in the morning. You'll be sharper, calmer, and more deliberate. 3. Create routines and systems. Routines reduce the number of decisions you have to make. A structured day keeps you from constantly wondering, what's next? Which can drain you over time. 4. Use decision trees or shortlists. When faced with too many options, narrow them down ahead of time. For example, instead of browsing 200 movies, pick 3 in advance. This limits your choices and conserves energy. 5. Take mental breaks. Short walks, deep breathing, or even a power nap can restore some of your cognitive strength. Just 10 minutes away from decision-heavy tasks can improve your clarity and patience. 6. Practice good enough thinking. Perfectionism is a major energy drain. Not every choice has to be the best one. Sometimes, good enough is actually better for your mental health. Final thoughts: your brain is powerful, but not unlimited. Understanding the psychology of decision fatigue isn't just fascinating, it's empowering. You're not broken, lazy, or undisciplined when you make worse choices at night. You're human. Your brain is simply tired of deciding. The good news is, by becoming aware of this invisible force and making small but smart changes to your routine, you can outsmart it. Reserve your energy for what matters most, and stop letting decision fatigue steer your life off course. Next time you find yourself struggling to choose dinner, reacting impulsively, or buying something you don't need at 11 p.m., pause. Recognize the fatigue. Then take a step back, recharge, and make your next move with clarity.